Let's encrypt the web with free SSL certs, this time on Hak5.
Hello and welcome to Hak5. My name is Darren Kitchen.
My name is Shannon Morse.
It's your weekly dose of Technolust.
Yes, it is, and we have an awesome show planned for you today.
No more plain text. That's right. We're going to have, hopefully, a concise wrap-up on how to SSL everything. Get yourself some HTTPS with free certificates on your web server in no time flat with just a few commands. So exciting.
But first up, we do have a few announcements. First, we have a pen test with Hak5, and that is coming up September 16th through 18th, and you can find all of the details over at pentestwithhak5.com. It is really, really fun, and seats are selling fast, so you got to make sure you get in if you really want to go to this one.
Get in on this because we are going to be Sebastian from the Wi-Fi Pineapple, as well as Mubix from Metasploit Minute, and myself. We are going to be teaching the USB Rubber Duck, the Land Turtle, the Wi-Fi Pineapple, Metasploit, all wrapped up together in like a story-driven kind of InfoSec dinner theater. I have no idea how to describe this. It's really unique.
It's really fun. We've gotten tons of awesome positive feedback from our previous classes, so we can't wait for this one.
Yes, so get in on that and we will be catching them all. That would be a reference to hacking devices, not necessarily any of that other. No, we're not doing that here. You know what we are doing is it only took us 11 years, but we are celebrating turning 3 in binary.
Lols, I get it.
Okay,
yeah,
cute.
11. Okay.
Hak5 meetup at DEF CON at Todd English Pub, which is next to the Aria at Crystals. It's going to be at 9 p.m. on Friday night. You can find the details over here at hak5.org. We are very excited to have this meetup. Should be really great.
BT dubs, we are so not like reserving space or anything, so just show up and drink beer.
There you go. Right?
That's how hackers do it.
That's how we're going to do it. We're also going to have a big Wi-Fi Pineapple announcement. Very excited about that. Seb and I are speaking at the DEF CON Wireless Village on Saturday at 4 p.m. at Skyview 1. So come to our talk. It's going to be awesome. We are launching the Buffalo Bulldozer, and that's all I can say about that.
The weirdest names ever. And then, of course, you can stick around afterwards, after like most of DEF CON happens, because at night there are parties. And there is a drone club right next door to the Wireless Village. It's at Skyview 2. It's going to be happening 2 nights, so it's Friday and Saturday night from 8 p.m. to midnight, and we're going to be there. So we're going to be hanging out, droning up all the drones on Saturday night. So come check it out, and maybe we can fight drones, have drone-on-drone battles.
It's like Fight Club but for drones.
It is like Fight Club for drones.
It's very exciting. Okay, but with all of that, Shannon, I am very excited to ask you a very Watson question.
Uh-oh.
Look up what that means.
I'm getting the Watson?
You are. What is SSL? We teased this at the top, but this SSL stuff. What are we doing here?
So SSL stands for Secure Sockets Layer. It's a standard security technology to link a web server and a browser together via an encrypted link. And the encrypted link uses a public key cryptography, which is where a web server has a public key and they have a private key. And then a handshake occurs between the two whenever a user visits the site. The web server will have to create an SSL certificate to be able to use SSL on the site, legally, I guess you could say. Then the server creates a public and a private key combination, and that public key is public, obviously, and it is placed into a certificate signing request. So this is called a CSR for short, which you will see a lot of times if you're planning to get a certificate online from a CA or a certificate authority. So this is a data file that contains all sorts of information about the server. The CSR is submitted for the SSL certificate approval, and then the certification authority validates you and then hands out that certificate. So this is why you always run into that issue where if you don't have a valid certificate, your website might be like, something might be bad with the site, it's not SSL.
Right, we can actually look at ours. This is the certificate for hak5.org. It was verified by, as you can see right there, GeoTrust. So there are many of these different authorities that will say, yeah, you guys passed the sniff test. You seem like a legitimate organization there. And then you get your certificate, and there you go.
And that certificate should match the private key, as it should, for that domain. And this will let you establish a private encrypted link between the web browser or the web server and then the user's PC. Now, as a user, you can see an SSL cert credential by just clicking on the little lock icon in the browser. You'll see it very often. For example, on the letsencrypt.org site or Hak5, you'll see a lock icon there. The certs contain the domain name, the company. Sometimes they'll have the address, city, state, and country, an expiration for the certificate if it expires, and then the certificate authority. So for example, for ours, which was GeoTrust.
There we go.
So if anything is out of whack, of course, the browser will warn you if, as the user, if it's invalid or if there's an issue.
Scariness, go away.
Google Chrome does this all the time, and usually I'm just like,
In fact, I used to do a bunch of these self-signed certificates when I was doing a lot of IT stuff for internal things.
Right.
And of course, you would always get that warning because you generated your own keys,
right?
Which works. It's just not. You
But
don't
then
have, you don't have some major organization standing behind you
You're validating
saying,
yourself by
yourself. Yeah, you're like, I vouch for me, as opposed to like some big company like GeoTrust being like, he's cool. Right? Which is the weirdest system, but whatever, it works.
So if a web server doesn't get their certificate from a third party, or they just decide to validate their keys themselves, it's not considered as trustworthy. If there is a third party used to validate the keys for a certificate, but the third party is unknown, it also might not be trustworthy. So keep that in mind.
So that was all about the SSL stuff, Shannon, but from what I understand, SSL is that lame, weak sauce, old stuff.
Weak sauce, yeah, it can be hacked. That's fun times. So transport layer security, this is the new hotness on the interwebs. It's short for the other words TLS, which is the newer SSL, with SSL being its predecessor. So TLS is more secure than older versions of SSL, pretty much all versions of SSL, which could be spoofed and hacked. TLS version 1.3 is currently being drafted, so this is going to be the newest one that everybody is going to be targeting to be a more private layer for security for individuals. And this is going to remove weak systems such as MD5, RC4, and it's going to add algorithms that are more secure and newer. And who knows what we're going to see with that one. Probably some new elliptical curve algorithms included in there, but I guess we're going to see.
Oh, until the quantum computers, and then everything's out the window. But that's a story for another time.
So TLS is very often still referred to as SSL commonly, because that's mostly just because it's the mature version of the secure protocol. So everybody still says SSL, or they might say TLS SSL as well.
Yeah. It's one of those things. So,
it is.
So then that brings us to this Let's Encrypt stuff, because that's the new hotness. Shannon, tell me about Let's Encrypt.
So Let's Encrypt is a certificate authority, a CA for short. They started in April of 2016. You've probably heard of them in passing. If you haven't, check them out yourself. They were started by the Internet Security Research Group, for short, that is ISRG. They offer free automatic secure certificates to pretty much anybody who owns a domain name. They offer free TLS certificates, and these are using the X509 certificate encryption, which allows PKI or public key infrastructure to work. So this is very commonly used in systems online for TLS.
It's interesting too, because all of this is very similar to the technology that we work to use PGP.
Yes,
so check out our episodes on using GPG or Mailvelope, for instance.
Yay.
Same kind of idea.
And one of the nice things about Let's Encrypt is that it's an automated process. So Let's Encrypt is trying to make encryption with certificates ubiquitous on the internet and very easy, so that encryption becomes the norm as opposed to sites still using just simple HTTP.
So the thing about that is, I remember even doing this 15 years ago, and it was always a bit much, because you have to go through not just generating your CSRs and going through the authority, but having, like, for instance, for a company, they would want to check your Dun & Bradstreet numbers, and they would want to check your physical address and all of these other things. And these are good things to have, organizations like validated as being like a legit organization, like, are they registered with the Better Business Bureau and things of that nature.
Right.
But it's like, look, guys, like, it's cool that we're passing sniff tests here, but there's no reason why we shouldn't have everyone with a domain name also be able to have a certificate. And free.
Yes,
that's
free
huge.
is the huge part. And then their 509 certs, they are domain validated. That's the way that they make sure you are who you are, which means that they're validated by proving that you own the DNS for a domain. So we own the DNS for Hak5, for example, hak5.org. All of Let's Encrypt certificates are transparent, so you can see what's been issued and what's been revoked, and the automatic issuance of certificates is an open standard. So if somebody else wants to use this standard of technology that Let's Encrypt is using, they can easily do so. Let's Encrypt isn't like locking that door.
No, I like that. It's kind of an open protocol. So how does it work?
Okay, so The nice part about Let's Encrypt is they also have a how it works website. So Let's Encrypt identifies the server admin via their public key. That's the very, very first part of all of this. And then a new key pair is going to be generated whenever the administrator of that domain talks to Let's Encrypt to prove that they own the domain that they say they do. The server owner will have to prove that they own the domain by adding a DNS record under their .com, which if you've ever created a website, you've probably had to do this either to transfer your domain from a different registrar or what have you. I've had to do this when I switched my site to Squarespace, for example. So it's something that you do.
In other words, they're just saying, hey, we want to make sure that you actually own that domain.
Yeah, and another way that you can prove that you own a domain is by setting up an HTTP resource or just a simple file under a URI, which stands for Uniform Resource Identifier.
So they'll give you a file
website.
and they'll be like, hey, put this on your web server,
Yeah.
just in case you don't have simple access to modifying a text record or something like that in DNS.
Right.
Which makes sense.
The last step for just validating yourself is the server owner has to sign the private key pair to prove their identity. So Let's Encrypt looks at all this information and then verifies the data and makes sure that it's legit, and then the server owner can then manage a certificate. So to get that cert, that's another step in itself, the server owner has to send Let's Encrypt a certificate signing request, a CSR, with their private key and then signed with the domain's public key, which lets Let's Encrypt validate, and then they will send them the certificate. So it's kind of, it sounds a little confusing.
It did, the way they put it up there, but I mean, that's the way that it works for any registrar, any certificate authority that you may go to, like GeoTrust, like I mentioned with Hak5.org. However, there's no reason why Hak5.org couldn't be using a Let's Encrypt certificate right now. Totally. And when we get back, we're going to be showing you how to set up just that, because it turns out, while all that theory is really cool, the actual practice of doing so, and oh God, I can tell you from years of experience with IIS-5, this is so much easier.
Yes.
Say you've got a great idea, like an internet spirit guide. How would you bring that to the web? Well, I'll tell you what we do. At Hak5, we head over to domain.com. It is the most fantastic place because their domain discovery system simplifies the checkup process and helps you get your idea to the web in no time flat. And get this, the guys over at domain.com, huge fans of Hak5, and so they have a coupon code just for us that we can share with you. It's called Hak5, and it spells HAK5. When you use it at checkout at domain.com, you will save 20%. That's fantastic. And guess what? Even if you don't need a domain name in this exact moment, you can pause the video and tweet at domain.com and say, thanks for supporting those crazy kids over at domain.com and Hak5 for all those years. It's fun times here. Yes, when you have a great idea, think domain.com.
We're back and we're now going to set up a Let's Encrypt certificate on our brand new spanking website.
Yeah.
All the things.
We are.
.org/cool.
No, I actually have, check it out, Shannon. I have internetspiritguide.com.
Oh my gosh.
Where you can go and you can. That is not, no, that isn't Sarah.
Pieces in Love?
That's not Sarah from the Hack Shop. It is, in fact, the Internet Spirit Guide. Here to tell you that you should train yourself to let go of all the data you fear to lose.
I've never seen that picture before.
She didn't know that that was happening. So, Sarah, I mean, the Internet Spirit Guide here has an amazing website at internetspiritguide.com. However, you may notice up here that we don't get the cute little lock icon.
Sarah, I love
and
you.
actually, if I add the https://myself, you will see that it will fail. It's going to say, oh, unable to connect because that's not the right thing and that's not what we're doing, and that's okay. Because if you have SSH access to your server, this is going to be super simple to turn into an HTTPS site because the EFF maintains this awesome tool called certbot.
Certbot.
Certbot, right.
I like certbot. That's a cute name.
I like certbots too. See, certbot is the Let's Encrypt client, and it will enable HTTPS on your server. It was previously known as the Let's Encrypt client, but now you can find it over at GitHub. Check this out, github.com/certbot, and actually, the easiest way to get started is to just head over to certbot.eff.org and go ahead and choose your web server from the dropdown. I'm using Apache on this server, and the operating system is Ubuntu 14.04, and then boom. here are the automated install instructions. How awesome is that?
Oh, that's so nice.
So to just walk us through for our specific scenario,
okay.
Did I say I can't speak today, by the way, but we're just going to keep rolling. So I'm going to go ahead and SSH over to my server.
Okay. And your password is obviously Kirby.
Yes, it is. This is actually Octopus Lipstick because I'm continuing to use the NSA meme generator for all of my server names. And what we're going to do,
we take ourselves seriously.
We're actually just going to do a little copy pasta here. What I have is a LAMP server running. So that's obviously Apache, PHP, MySQL running on Linux. So you can see that I have like var/www/html is where I've got all my good stuff.
Okay.
And all we need to do, if I take a look at my directory, I'm in /root. I'm just going to do it right here to keep things simple. I'm going to go ahead and paste that command from the EFF site. So what this will do is download this file, and you notice that it's actually doing it over HTTPS. How fantastic is that?
That's
Grab
nice.
myself a copy of certbot. I can see it's right there. Now we just need to change its mode so it's executable, or we could run it with bash. There we go. And now if I ls again, I'll see it's nice and pretty and green. And if we just, all we have to do.
I know how to change colors now in Linux.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that a hack tip? Uh-oh. All right, well.
That's why my terminal's purple.
Beware. All we have to do at this point is go ahead and just run /certbot-auto. So go ahead and do that. All right, and we're going to go ahead and continue, and it's going to ask for the name, which is going to be internetspiritguide.com. I can even put in the www if I want.
Does it matter? Do you have to include the www?
I would have to do it for both.
Okay.
All right, and the email address, that'll be my email, darren@hak5.org. Okay, and we accept the license agreement, the terms of service, and we're prompted if we want to allow HTTPS in addition to HTTP, or
why would you do that?
Well, you would do that if you want the ability to SSL strip websites. I'm not really sure. I will say that, for instance, internet.org, as an example, the free internet from Facebook to the developing nations restricts HTTPS. I don't know why.
Huh.
That's kind of stupid. So there may be some weird edge cases in which you wouldn't want, in which you would want the ability to also get to the plain text version of the site. Yeah. Or we could just say make all of them requests secure, because we need to make sure we have a secure connection to the Internet Spirit Guide. I'm actually just going to choose both so I can show you an example of the difference.
Okay.
All right, and then there we go. So we say you should now have your configurations and we can head over to this site, or we can just go ahead and hit OK. And congratulations, we're done, right?
Awesome.
Our certificate chain has been saved.
We should test it, yeah?
Right, we should. So all we have to do is come over to the Internet Spirit Guide, and you'll notice, there we go, that's the HTTP version. And if we refresh this page, notice the HTTPS, and there we are. And we've got a cute little lock icon.
Got the lock icon.
And it is secured, and we can view the certificate, and we can come over here, say view certificate, and voila, we have a certificate. Now, here's the thing that you may notice.
It expires in 3 months.
It expires in October. Yes, but thankfully, certbot can actually automate the renewal for us. That's the thing.
Oh,
normally,
that's cool.
Yeah, normally from like the bigger certificate authorities, you get a certificate that's like good for a year or 2 years, things of that nature. These don't last as long, but it's really easy to renew them. Let's check this out.
Okay.
So if I head over to the terminal, we can go ahead and do a dry run of a renewal. So let's close this and get back over to our terminal. All right, great. So that same exact certbot thing here. I'm going to run /root because that's where we are, /certbot. And then I'm going to do it with renew tac dry run. And what this is going to do is it's going to process our certificate. It's going to see if it can actually automatically, without any human interaction, go ahead and contact Let's Encrypt and get this certificate renewed. And it says, congratulations, all renewals succeeded.
Cool.
So there we go. So what this means is I now have confidence adding the actual renewal to my cron tab.
Oh, yes, make it a cron job.
Yeah, I love me, the Unix task scheduler. It's so much better than the @ command in Windows. So to do that, all we have to do is run crontab, tac E, and we're going to be asked here which is our favorite text editor. And I mean, obviously, we're going to choose Nano because it's the name of the Wi-Fi pineapple. And here is our crontab file. So we're going to come to the very bottom, and we're going to go ahead and add this command. Now here's the thing about crontabs. If you've never done them before, if you're not familiar with them, the syntax is a little weird, but if you're feeling lazy like I am, you can go ahead and check out this awesome site here. Not Internet Spirit Guide, although you should check this site out as well. But the crontab-generator.org is an epic place that will help you go ahead and create your tasks. So what we want to do is, I don't know, we'll do this every day at 5 a.m. We'll do it at, it's not 5 exactly, we'll do it at 5:53 a.m. Pick a weird time, right? Because like we don't want to do it on the hour because everybody else in the internet is probably doing things on the hour. And then we'll go ahead and paste in the command that we want to execute. I'll just put in foobar because I don't know exactly the command off the top of my head, but we'll generate that and look at that. So it gives us, this is what we should add. So 53 is the minutes, 5 is the hour, and those asterisks mean all of the other times, and we can get into what those are. And then this is the command. And then this right here just suppresses the output. So we actually don't really care about that as much as I just want these. So 53, 5, star, star, star. If I come back over to my cron tab, there we go. And now I just need to enter in /root, because that's where I left that certbot-auto file, certbot-auto. And then in this case, it's renew, but we're not doing a dry run, we're doing it quiet. And we're going to say no self-upgrade. All right.
Does quiet let it do it in the background?
Yeah.
OK.
And then save that and close it. And there we go. Right? That was it.
Incredibly easy.
So now every single day, it's going to
nice.
try to renew the certificate. Now, the certificate doesn't need to renew every day. But you know, as long as this happens at least once in the next 3 months, we're good to go.
That is so cool. All right. So that is it for setting up HTTPS with Let's Encrypt. And as you can see, it really honestly could not be easier. Let us know what you guys think over in the comments, or you can always tweet us at Hak5 as well. If you are using Let's Encrypt, I would love to know. And at this point, there is absolutely no excuse for a plain text web. So seriously, if you're on HTTP right now, get your butt off HTTP and go HTTPS with some TLS.
Yeah. TLS. And now it's time for the Technolust Photo of the Week. Every week we are asking, what tickles your Technolust? So tweet, Instagram, or Faceblurg with the hashtag Hak5 for your chance to win some awesome gear from our very own Hack Shop. And today we're giving away our Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano with a sweet new sticker pack. Check this out. Shannon, did you know we have awesome sticker decals now for all of our cool products?
I kind of love the decals.
So I want to know.
You should put those on the set, by the way.
Oh, I should. All right, I'll put these on the set while you tell us who is our WinRAR.
Oh man, there were a lot. We actually got quite a few entries, so it's hard to choose, but I'm gonna go ahead and run through these real quick so you can see some of the entries that we got. These are amazing.
Ooh, I love that server closet.
Yeah, Darren loves the server closet. I love these. 3 monitors, awesome, dude. Yes, thank you everybody for sending these in. These are just a few, but I have to say, my favorite is the war driving dog.
Oh, right? From Lord Helix?
Yeah, since I get to choose this week. So Lord Helix,
since
you're
you're
the
choosing
winner.
this week, Lord Helix is it. So we will be hitting you up on Twitter, getting your address so we can send you out the new Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano. I'm very excited about that. Here, you know what? Get that die cut Hak5 sticker over on your side.
I love it.
That looks
love
so
it,
good.
love it, love it. I wonder if it fits up here.
There we go.
You know what? Close enough.
Okay.
Put it right here.
Wherever. So much fun. I'm going to just put that on my forehead. No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah, put it on your forehead.
We're done here. We are so done here.
All right, so this weekend we are going to be at DEF CON. We're going to be crazy busy at our booth, you know, giving you guys stickers and stuff. So it's going to be really fun.
Hey, this is actually kind of perfect because what we have been talking about this entire episode has been encrypting your web server, which you should be doing with Let's Encrypt, which is backed by some awesome organizations like Mozilla and specifically the EFF. I can't tell you guys how much we love the EFF. If you've watched our sister show, ThreatWire, you know that these guys do awesome good for the internet and we want to benefit them. So if you're coming to DEF CON, come by the vendor area. You will find our awesome, huge booth. You'll be able to see us from across the room. There's a giant inflatable pineapple, like you probably saw in that new Bourne movie. And you will find, this is
so awesome.
a Len Peralta original. Len Peralta does awesome drawings on the Daily Tech News Show with Tom Merritt. He did this special for us, and we are going to have it just at DEF CON, and we are autographing these for like a, I don't know, donation of $1 or more.
A donation.
Because we are raising money for the EFF because they do awesome stuff like Let's Encrypt.
So cool.
Yes.
I love this.
So if you're at DEF CON, come by.
Get an autograph
Limited.
from us. We're super excited
Yes.
to be handing those out, and yeah, just ask for a donation, your preference of what you choose.
Definitely looks like us.
I think so too. I really like the purple hair.
Well, I mean, right?
Of course, if you can't make it to the convention, you can always check out hakshop.com. We have tons of awesome sales there too of our Wi-Fi Pineapple Nano, our Tetra.
We actually have DEF CON special sales going on right now, even if you can't make it to the conference. So hakshop.com, that's what supports us directly. And yeah, check it out. You can get fashionable hacker accessories.
And don't forget to sign up for Pentest with Hak5 or our meetup that's happening this weekend over in Las Vegas. We're super excited to meet everybody, and I can't wait. It's gonna be so much fun.
I am so excited.
All right.
Doesn't that look good?
It does look
good.
good.
With the new decal?
I liked it.
Awesome.
I liked
Anyway, thank you so much, guys. We will see you next week. I'll see you guys in the comments. Until then, trust your technolust.
We're back, and it's time to get this going.
Nope. Not how we're doing it, Shane.
#ExoCon.
Right?